Hello, I'm Caroline, and this is Energy Balance Vinyasa. In today's class, you will practice a short sequence that will transition you from kneeling to a supine position. Supine poses are those in which you are lying on the floor, on your back, with your face up towards the ceiling. This sequence helps demonstrate how individual poses can be connected together into a Vinyasa flow in order to transition from one pose to another. Before we begin, I will cover some important health and safety information that you should know. Before beginning this or any other exercise program, you should consult with a physician to make sure that practicing yoga is appropriate for you. If you have high or low blood pressure, spinal problems, or any other medical conditions or injuries, consult with your doctor to see if any modifications are necessary for your practice. If you are pregnant, you should be in a prenatal yoga class. If during the practice you feel any pain or discomfort, you can return to the previous pose or come back to table pose, staff bent knees, or supine bent knees. You should avoid this pose until a physician can be consulted to make sure that it is appropriate for you. Be safe and enjoy your practice. Now let's begin. Come into a kneeling position with your thighs resting on your calf muscles, your shins parallel to each other, and the tops of your feet to the mat, your toes pointing straight back behind you. Rest your hands on your knees or thighs with the palms facing down. Inhale and sit up straight, drawing your shoulder blades down and back. Exhale and engage your core. Your shoulders should be directly over your hips, your neck aligned with the spine, and the gaze forward. This is Thunderbolt pose, Vajrasana. Begin to connect with your breath. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep going. Breathing deeply. Now, as you continue with your practice, you will sync each movement with your breath, inhaling with each expansion of the body and exhaling with each contraction. Inhale and come onto your hands and knees, with the knees under the hips and the shoulders over the wrists for table pose, Vajrasana. Your calves should be parallel and the neck in line with the spine. Gaze down between your palms. Extended child's pose, Utthita Balasana. Exhale and start to sink the hips down and back, bringing them to your heels. Walk your hands forward and reach the arms out in front of you as you bend forward from the hips, bringing your chest to lay across your thighs. Bring your forehead to the mat, lengthening the back of the neck. Relax your face, head, and neck. Relax your hips and your shoulders. Gaze down towards the mat or close your eyes. Reach the hands forward as you inhale and stretch the shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. Drag the mat back with your hands, pulling the chest forward and bending the elbows. Then press into the hands, straightening the arms as you arch through the back and lift the chest while sinking your hips down to the mat. For upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Your shoulders should be stacked over the wrists. Draw your shoulder blades down and back, opening up the chest. Gaze forward, keeping your neck soft and aligned with the spine. Then flip the feet, tuck the toes, and send the hips up and back for downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let your arms frame your ears. Keep the shoulders down and the chest open. Your feet should be about hip width apart, the legs straight, with the heels to the mat if possible. Keep a slight bend in the elbows and knees to avoid hyperextension. Gaze between the feet or the ankles. Press through the heels of the hands. Draw the navel in and reach up and back through the tailbone to come higher. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and rise up onto your tiptoes. Then exhale and slowly lower your knees down to the mat. Cross your lower legs and roll over your shins for staff bent knees. Come to sit with your knees bent and the soles of your feet flat to the floor. Keep your feet and knees about hip distance apart. Place your hands by your hips. Press through your sit bones and lengthen your spine. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. Gaze forward. Bound angle, Bata Konasana. Bring the soles of your feet together and open your knees out to the sides so that your legs form a diamond-like shape. The outside edges of the feet should be against the mat. Wrap your hands around your feet or ankles and draw your heels back as close to the groin as is comfortable. Relax your knees and thighs, allowing them to gently fall open to either side. Do not force your knees down to the mat. Press into the sit bones. Tilt your pubic bone forward and down towards the mat, and lengthen through the lower back. Engage the core, drawing the navel in towards the spine. Gaze straight ahead. Slide your feet forward a few inches. Then close your knees and bring the soles of your feet back to the floor for staff bent knees. Inhale, press through your sit bones and lengthen your spine to sit tall. Exhale, draw your shoulders down and back. Then inhale and extend your legs straight out in front of you for staff pose, Dandasana. Place your palms on the mat on either side of your hips. Lengthen through your spine. Engage your core. Relax your shoulders and gaze straight ahead. Seated forward bend with bent knees, Ashimotanasana. Take a slight bend in the knees, raising them a few inches off the mat and drawing your heels a little closer to your hips. Keep the knees and thighs drawn together, activating the quadriceps. If maintaining this position is difficult, you can place a rolled up blanket or a bolster under the knees for more support. Inhale and lengthen up through the spine. Then exhale and begin to fold forward from the hips, keeping a straight spine as you fold. Reach your arms out and let your hands come to rest on the shins, ankles, or feet. Try to lay your torso flat against your thighs, bending the knees as much as you need to maintain contact with your thighs. Avoid locking the elbows. Gaze down towards your shins. Exhale, draw your shoulders down and back. Engage your core. Inhale and lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold forward a little deeper. Inhale and lengthen forward. Exhale and fold. Then inhale and keeping the spine long, lift back up to staff pose, Dandasana. Place your palms on the mat on either side of your hips. Gaze forward. Exhale. Inhale, bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet flat to the floor for staff bent knees. Exhale, then inhale and press through your sit bones and lengthen your spine to sit tall. Exhale, draw your shoulder blades down and back. Supine, bent knees. Inhale and raise your arms up so they are parallel to the floor with your hands by your knees. Or you can place your hands behind your hips with your fingers pointing towards your glutes. Then exhale and slowly lower yourself down and back into a supine position, lowering one vertebrae at a time. Keep your knees bent and pointing to the sky, your knees and feet about hip distance apart, and rest your hands by your sides with the palms facing down. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Walk your feet back closer to your buttocks so that your knees are stacked over your ankles. Ground down into your feet by pressing them evenly into the mat. Exhale, engage your core and the backs of your thighs. Then inhale and lift your hips up off the mat. Arch your back and draw the shoulder blades together, sliding the arms inward so the upper arms are beneath the shoulder blades and the hands are under your hips. Keep your neck and shoulders flat on the mat and your neck in line with the spine. Keep pressing up through the heels to lift your hips higher. Gaze up towards the ceiling or down the nose towards the navel. Walk the arms out from under you, placing them by your sides. Then exhale and slowly lower the hips back down to supine bent knees. Keep your knees bent and pointing to the sky, and adjust your legs so that your knees and feet are hip distance apart. Turn the palms face down. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Wind relieving pose, Pavana Muktasana. Exhale and engage your core. Then inhale and raise your knees towards your chest, your feet lifting up off the floor. Your thighs should come to rest against your chest. Keep your legs squeezed together and mildly point the toes. Exhale. Inhale and bring your hands up to hold your knees. Exhale, relax back and hug your knees in towards your chest. Keep your shoulders, neck, and head down to the mat and the neck aligned with the spine. Continue to gaze up towards the ceiling. Extended leg lift, Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. Exhale and straighten your legs as you bend from the hips to lift your legs up into a 90-degree angle with the feet, ankles, and knees directly over your hips. Engage your core for balance. Point or flex the toes and open the palms out to the sides to face up towards the ceiling and slightly away from the body. Keep the gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, engage your core. Then inhale and bend your knees, drawing them in towards your chest for wind relieving pose. Keep your legs squeezed together and mildly point the toes. Exhale. Inhale and bring your hands up to hold your knees. Exhale, relax back and hug your knees in towards your chest. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Supine twist, Jatara Parivartanasana. Exhale and roll to the left side. The outside of your left leg should be resting on the mat. Your hips, knees, and feet stacked over each other, and your legs in an L shape at about a 90-degree angle. You can either point or flex your feet. Extend your left arm out to the side, straight in front of you, with the palm facing up, and stack your right arm directly over your left, with the palm facing down. Gaze straight ahead towards the side of your mat. Then inhale and sweep the right arm up and over to the right side, bringing it to rest on the floor with the palm facing up as you twist the chest open towards the sky. Your shoulders should be grounded flat to the mat. Your arms open to a T, creating one line from wrist to wrist. Turn your head towards the right, gazing back over the shoulder towards your right hand. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders. Relax your hips. Then inhale and bring everything back to center, coming back to wind relieving pose. Inhale and bring your hands up to hold your knees. Exhale, relax back and hug your knees in towards your chest. Supine twist, Jatara, Parivartanasana. Exhale and roll to the right side. The outside of your right leg should be resting on the mat. Your hips, knees, and feet stacked over each other, and your legs in an L shape at about a 90-degree angle. You can either point or flex your feet. Extend your right arm out to the side, straight out in front of you with the palm facing up, and stack your left arm directly over your right with the palm facing down. Gaze straight ahead towards the side of the mat. Then inhale and sweep the left arm up and over to the left side, bringing it to rest on the floor with the palm facing up as you twist your chest open towards the sky. Your shoulders should be grounded flat to the mat. Your arms open to a T, creating one line from wrist to wrist. Turn your head towards the left, gazing back over the shoulder towards your left hand. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders. Relax your hips. Then inhale and bring everything back to center, coming back to wind relieving pose. Inhale and bring your hands up to hold your knees. Exhale, relax back and hug your knees in towards your chest. Then take a deep breath in and release everything down to the mat into corpse pose, Shavasana. Lying on your back with your eyes closed. Let your feet fall open to the sides, slightly more than hip width apart. Let your arms rest by your sides, slightly away from the body, with the palms face up and open. Relax your fingers. Relax your feet. Breathe deeply. Gently reach out through the fingertips, sliding the hands an inch or two towards your feet and pulling the shoulders down away from the ears. Then slightly tuck your chin to lengthen the back of the neck. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders. Just rest here for a few moments. Taking slow, deep breaths. Feel your whole body relaxing. Feel it melting into the floor with each exhale. Inhale and open your eyes. Open and close your eyes 3 times slowly. Awaken. This concludes the practice. I wish you peace, contentment, and bliss. Om Shanti, Santosha, Ananda.